A very good evening, everyone. I hope that you guys can hear me and you can see me. If you can hear me, please raise your hand. My voice is audible. You guys can hear me properly. No voice problem. All right, perfect. So, good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you in this particular webinar. As I told you at the initial stages, that we have a series of the webinar designed for all of you, and this is another addition to it. And I would like to welcome you for this online Achievers Meet. So let me start with this webinar in a little bit older version story way. All right. When we started Time Education Pune Center in the year of 2004, 2005, and we start getting some results, we can say that there are some people who are working very hard and they made it to IIMs. Slowly, as the numbers started growing, we started enjoying celebrating their victories. So we decided that we are going to dedicate one day and we will celebrate that as a achievers meet. It was a way so that our current student and future student can connect to the achievers and can listen to their story. Also, they can understand how these people made it to their dream IIMs or any other dream colleges. All right. We started this long years ago, and we gave an opportunity for our student to directly interact with these achievers. We continued with that. The tradition went on, and slowly the numbers of our achiever and the tradition become big. And we used to do it in a larger way in Symbiosis Vishwa Bhavan. We used to hire that where our achievers used to stand on podium and our audience used to sit. The audience are all of the students from every center of time, Pune. So we used to invite all of them, and there was a session, an interaction where you get to meet these achievers. The tradition continued. We were very proud of our achievers day by day. If I have to say that in the terms of record breaking and making new records, Time Education Pune Center was always there. I still remember year 2016 when we made another record. One student of Time Education Pune Center, Mr. Yash Chowdhury, made it to the top IIMs, and not only made it to the top IIMs, he got 100 percentile in CAT. One of the 100 percentilers was from Time Education Pune Center in the year of 2016. And this thing continued. We celebrated the victory last year in Symbiosis Vishwa Bhavan, the Achiever Meet of 2019. If I have to look what we have achieved in the years so far, I would start with the year of 2014. Out of the number of people who are joining IIMs, we were able to send 110 people from Time Education Pune Center in the year of 2014 to send to IIMs. This number started growing. Soon it became 124 in the year of 2015. It reached 157 in the year of 2016. It became 197 in the year of 2017, and it continues afterwards. Last year, we were able to send 220 people into IIMs. So 220 people who are going to study in the top 20 IIMs are from Time Education Pune Center alone. This year so far, we have 197 people who made it to top IIMs. Some people, unfortunately, are still waiting as they're into waitlist. So we are expecting to grow this number by certain percentages. And in this session, what we are going to do is we will allow an interaction with these achievers, these toppers, and you can see them, you can have a question for them, you can listen to them, you can learn whatever they have done in their life in order to achieve their dream colleges. Let's begin with our very first achiever of the day. I would like to invite Mr. Vipul. Vipul, who has converted a lot of colleges. Let's try to understand what he has prepared, and let's try to understand which college he is going to join. So I would request Vipul to please join us.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Vipul. How are you?
Fine, sir. How are you do?
I am very fine. Vipul, right now there are 270 people who are with us and they would like to listen to you. They are looking at you. I'm pretty sure you're looking handsome, by the way. So
Thank you.
let's, okay. I'm looking good too, but that's okay. So,
Just a 1 minute, sir, Anush sir. Can you
yes,
stop sharing your this thing screen? So Vipul and you can audience can see you better.
I'm sorry, you want me to do what?
Stop sharing screen
Okay.
so they can audience can see you both in a better way. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So, Mr. Vipul,
Yes,
please
sir.
tell our audience how exactly you have prepared for the CAT examination. And by the way, you have cracked the ZAT examination also,
Yep.
right? So, out of the colleges that you are selected for, which college you have preferred?
Right now, I'm going for Xavier's Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar, because of the diversity of the companies that come around there, and
Mhm.
also it's a prestigious institute, old institute, and I was pretty much inspired by the Xavier's because one of my cousin, she is a pass out from XLRI last year, and so she kind of motivated me to join Xavier's and like what how they are different and what they are. And so also being a student from a missionary school, from a Christian background school, I know what kind of
Sorry to
value.
interrupt you, Vipul. Sorry to interrupt you, Vipul. Anush sir, actually people can't able to see you both. So can you just check it out in a sharing or in audience view?
From my side, they are saying audience view is 100%.
Okay. Can you send me the screenshot, sir, on WhatsApp so I can check it out?
All right. For the audience, can you guys see us? Or is it only audio which is audible right now?
Only audio. Okay. So actually, a lot of people have joined from the through the mobile. No issue, sir. You can share the screen and open the discussions.
All right. So can I share the screen now?
Yeah, yeah. Please, you can share the screen and open the discussion.
Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry. Some of you might not be able to see us because I am guessing that you are accessing from the mobile phone. And on that, some video option, some problem is coming. Okay. For those people who can see us, fantastic. For those people who cannot see us, there is a nice photo of Mr. Vipul available with us. If you want to see him, it is available on our forums and Facebook and Instagram also. And right now, I'm sharing my PPT with you guys so you can see Mr. Vipul and you can listen to him. You can talk to him. If you have any question, just let us know. We'll ask him. So, Mr. Vipul, please tell us how exactly you have prepared for this ZAT examination.
Okay, so first of all, sir, CAT examination from my side didn't went very well as expected. So that was the only option which I have to nail through it. And so I was pretty much looking at the basics of the exam, basics of the preparation strategies, like which were common to both the examinations. So my point of first of all, my point of strategy point of is confidence is confidence build up. Building up confidence is definitely the key to success, but protecting it even further is one of the key to excelling these examinations. So don't whatever happens or whatever happens in your mocks examination or not, something like that, it doesn't goes according to your way, then always try to protect what you have gained through your practice and what you have gained through mocks, and always try to protect your confidence. Second most important thing is which will help you far better and in MBA career and beyond MBA also is reading. So if you are regularly tracking your reading speeds, like how you are reading different type of sections like economics and technology and all those different type of articles, then definitely, because at the end of the day in the both the papers, what you have to do is read and read and read and read. So the better you read, the faster you read, the maximum your attempts will be. So the one of the basic things for cracking these examinations is like definitely improving your reading and then perception speed, like how fast you are catching the articles or the things which are written. Might be it ingredients on the back of a Maggie packet to the articles published in the Times of India or the Hindu. Definitely you have to go through everything and every sort of article which is published anywhere. So once you inculcate that habit within yourself, then definitely it will going to help you in a long term. Second most thing is people, like in case of Xavier's examinations, that they find it difficult to tackle through the decision making. So yeah, decision making is the section of decision making is like, yeah, very much different from other examinations we face. So what we can say is totally depends upon practice. So one of the major things you can do for decision making section is read the question stem first, and then try to then read the what the argument is, and after that you can like work on negating the options. Like if you try to negate the options, then you would ultimately arrive at the best option, a best suited answer possible. So it's I very much knew from my cousin who is also an IIM Ahmedabad graduate, and he is working and like going to campuses for recruitment. So he tell me that decision making section is sort of psychometric test. For example, if 100 people are achieving the question, and out of 100 people, if 70 are marking the out of ABC, out of 70 people are marking the 70% people are marking the B option, then definitely it is going to be the correct answer. There is no right or wrong answer as sort of such in decision making section. So like it is the basis on which the examiners on the other side judge you, like how much are you in aligned across the common way. So decision making, yeah, practice, but one of the major key trick about decision making section is read the question stem first and then read the argument. Now coming to the quant section, in case of DILR section in CAT, we can say data interpretation is one of the basic major things which you told us in our first class was don't use pen and paper. Don't use pen and paper, and ultimately start doing calculations, your mental calculations. Make it very fast. So to contribute to your faster mental calculations for data interpretation section, what you can do is master the tables and squares and cubes and all those things. Like it should be your daily habit, like waking up early in the morning or waking up in the morning, and the first thing you do is like a priest recites his prayers, then these should be your prayers for reciting. So these are the prayers which you should recite while waking up every day in the morning, the tables and all those things and all those. And apart from that, reading speed, once you have developed that, then you can go faster through the data interpretation section questions, and you can the major key in these examinations to success is also like selection of questions. So the faster you select all easier questions which are easier to you, which you are comfortable with, then you are definitely going to crack it. As far as it goes for the logical reasoning, it's definitely upon practice. The more variety you practice, the more you will excel. Now coming to the arithmetic section, we can say that quant section. So I can say that based upon the preparation mindset of the examiners, what they're doing, they like to see the diversity within their batch. So what happens is, if you go to the any of the exam major B school like IIM Ahmedabad per se, and see their batch diversity, the batch profile, you can find that 50% are like engineers, and then 30-20% are like science graduates and all those things, blah blah. So what you can you can get out take away from key take away from that is like uh, the paper is designed as per so that maximum people can attempt the question. So what I say that topic of mathematics in terms of cons is common to each and every person till 10th class. So till 10th class, what the basic subjects we study is like logarithmics in case of logs, and arithmetic, percentage, profit loss, and all those things, and geometry and trigonometry and all those things. Apart from that, this permutation and combination, probability is one more major thing, and then permutation and combination basically engineers study in 11th and 12th section. So what you can say is, like you have to try to maximize your score. Once you are onto the paper, onto the examination, you have to trying to maximize your score. So what you can do is cover the major questions first in case of quant section. So what you can do is arithmetic like master arithmetic first. After till percentages, then you can move to TI section also, and then as early as possible, if you master the arithmetic section, then most of the paper is within your reach. Then master the geometry section, and then you are attempting, for example, in say in CAT examination, if there are 34 questions, then you are looking at almost 20 questions attempt. Then after that, you can move on to other sections as well. So just try to if you are able to sense what the meaning of those sections are, what examiners are trying to look into you while trying to assess you, is that these basic things are, because when you from an exam that student point of view, if you get to understand that what these questions by testing, and by testing us what they are trying to see through us, then definitely you were able to crack to the examination. So it's all about the mindset, and then practice and practice and practice.
Correct, correct. Absolutely correct, Vipul. So what Vipul has said is absolutely correct. There are three or four things that you must learn. That first, you read, 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 and as much as possible, you read. All right. So Vipul, here is a question for you. One of the audience who has asked a question for you. That is, from where were you reading all these articles, and what genre of the articles, what variety of the articles you were reading?
Okay, so first of all, a big thanks to Shriti ma'am for our mastering our data interpretation, the decision making section, and then our Amruta ma'am for our mastering our RC section. So as per their advice, we were like, I was focusing more on reading articles, because articles are the ones which are published, like articles from major newspapers like the Washington Post and all, the Guardian, and like one of the major sites is aeon.com. The articles published on that site are the questions which are reflecting on the CAT and XAT examination. So what you can do is read articles, because first, articles definitely are shorter and more crispier, and they contain a lot of information in within a short paragraph on which questions can be formed easily. So what I can say is, there are several sites like aeon.com is one thing, Arts and Letters Daily is one thing, and one more, like a priest recites a prayer, as I earlier said. One more thing the aspirants have to do is read the editorial section of the Hindu, the column which the editor publishes, because this section is going to help you in opinion formation, which will help you in turn help you in the interview and GDPR section, because once your opinion is formed, you have a plethora of knowledge and information within your mind, like I have read this and this article. So if any time in GDPR section and that VAT section, after your written examinations, that questions and articles pop up to write like essays and all those things, if you have the plethora that information within your, then we can move on to Arts and Letters Daily and aeon.com sites.
Oh, fantastic. Uh, I'm sorry, Vipul, can you please repeat your last part? Because I think our audio and video was sticking a little bit. Can you please repeat your last part?
So first and foremost thing, the aspirants we have to focus on reading the editorial section of the Hindu, not all
Correct.
the editorial section, but that two columns, which the two articles which are published by the editor himself. And the second thing is they have to move on to read. It will hardly take 15 to 20 minutes reading two articles from aldaily.com or aeon.com. So it
Oh,
AL Daily, yeah.
oh, fantastic, fantastic. So, Vipul, finally, you're going to join XIMB. Are you excited?
Yeah, sure, sir. Very much.
There is one more question for you from the audience. That is, you were working, right?
Yep.
And at the same time, you were managing your preparation also, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, was there any study plan that you have made, or was there anything that you were doing in particular about that?
Okay, so as you can see, sir, like my studies got affected because of some personal inevitable circumstances, like last year, mid of June. So
Okay.
these, I'm still surprised to say that, but yeah, this is the truth that I have achieved these scores without the help of any mocks. Like I was supposed, like every CAT aspirant or XAT aspirant has supposed to give mocks and practice mocks, but I have
Hmm.
achieved these scores without giving any mocks, because I didn't find the time and all those things, because of some personal and inevitable reasons, family problems and all those things. But
Hmm.
study plan per se, like if you are really an aspiring MBA graduate, you want to become an like gain an MBA, so you have to start behaving like a manager. You have to start behaving like a management graduate. So what you can see is, first of foremost thing is seeing everything in detail, and second thing is you are like daily you have to push yourself. You have to think in the way like the daily actions, your daily habits are pushing yourself towards your goal. So what you can say, instead of browsing Instagram, start browsing LinkedIn. What articles are produced? Instead of like browsing Facebook, start reading, contributing that time towards reading articles. It hardly takes 6 or 7 months of practice, and you will be there. You will definitely be there in your drop B school. And daily practices is one thing, and working in the time spaces, like I can say is if I had a 1 hour break for lunch, for example, so I finished my lunch within 20 minutes, and in the rest 40 minutes, I used to practice that RC passages and all those things. And as I earlier said, like as my prayers, after getting up daily in the morning, the first thing I used to do is read the articles of the Hindu column, and then recite my all the tables and all the squares, cubes, and all those things. So like you have to work in the time spaces between what you get, because although no company will definitely pay you for free, they will have to take work from you. So what you can do is this is the basic lesson in management, is working in time spaces. So once you have managed that, you will be comfortable.
Fantastic, fantastic, Vipul. I hope that the students who are watching us and some of you who are working professional, you definitely connect to this problem that how to manage between CAD study and your own office space work and tired all the day, frustrated maybe, your boss might be irritating you, right? So you have to manage and overcome all of these things to clear the CAT examination or any other competitive examination for that matter, right? So thank you, Vipul.
Thank you.
One last question one person want to ask. How was your interview experience?
Okay, so first thing, the basis which I have already said, the key is to success is reading. So once you
Mhm.
have read all the reading speed is good. Once you have read all the articles while you were preparing, because definitely there will be the sessions which you will go into burnout, because you can't practice quants and every question every day, every hour. So once you go into burnout, start reading articles. So once these accumulation of like information is collected within your mind, in the
Mhm.
interview section, definitely there were people like I remember I went for Wellinger interview for practice, and there was this girl, like she was dominating the GD section, and I was too much
Mhm.
frustrated. I was about to throw out that article, the booklet which was given to me for jotting down the points. So you
Mhm.
have to keep your calm, you have to keep your composure, and easily I can say to the articles, one of the major success point is everybody loves Akshay Kumar, right? So when
Right.
you like I saw somewhere like Akshay Kumar, how Akshay Kumar acts. So he says that steal the emotions of the front people, like the people watching you, you are interacting with. So
Mhm.
once you can focus, like this is a like major thing, you like I it suited for me, it worked well for me. I started stealing emotions from the people around me I'm interacting with, and also from the panelist members. So the interview experience is like, if you are asking me question, so like आपकी जो conductance है, आपकी जो conduct करने का तरीका है, how you, the way you talk, the way you walk, and all those things, these are the definitely the key points in which panelists are going to notice. So जैसे
Mhm.
आपने question मुझसे पूछा कि like what is this question, and slightly I lean forward just to show myself that yeah, I'm attentive towards them, and as I try to steal emotions from that. Yeah, yeah, okay, they are attentive, so I'm attentive too. If they are laughing, I'm laughing too. If they are serious, then I'm serious too. So this is
Mhm.
the major key point like I embodied myself within, and yeah, this will definitely help you in the long run in the panel.
Thank
So
you.
yeah,
Mhm. Okay. Fantastic, Vipul. Thank you for being with us, Vipul, and congratulations. I hope that very soon you will be excelling at Excel and you will be getting a very good placement, right?
thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay.
We'll make you proud.
Welcome. Have a nice time.
Thank you, sir.
So now I would like to invite our next participant, that is our next achiever. Let's see what this achiever has to share with you guys. Our next achiever is going to be Miss Divya. Okay, Divya, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you, Divya?
I'm great, sir. How are you?
I am very fine, beta. So you are one of a person who has almost 3 years of experience and got selected into some of the IIMs, right? So which
Right.
IIM are you going to join, Divya?
Sir, I'm going to be joining IIM Bangalore this year.
Oh, IIM Bangalore. Why? Any particular reason behind joining IIM Bangalore?
Well, sir, that apart from being the top B school in the country, it is in the technical hub Bangalore, which completely aligns with my interests going forward. So, yeah, definitely, IIM Bangalore is going to be the pick.
Okay, fantastic. But see, a lot of people wants to know how exactly you have done it, how you have achieved this IIM Bangalore dream. So why don't you share some of the things about you, how where you were working, and how you have prepared for this particular college?
So, sir, basically, my this exactly as you mentioned began with a dream roughly 2 years back, and this was my second attempt at it. So, I think that in my first attempt there were some significant mistakes that I made, which I worked upon in my second one to actually get a call from almost all the B schools. So, one of the pivotal point was that in my first attempt I was actually preparing for CAT. In my second attempt I started preparing for MBA. So that
Hmm.
was a shift in the mindset that I picked up right from the very start to tell about myself that I am a network consultant at Cisco Systems with, as mentioned, approximately 3 years of work ex.
Right.
And being my second attempt at it, I was more careful that I just make it at this particular time. So
Mhm.
I in my second attempt I majorly focused on that. It said that read for the exam before you read, read about the exam before you read for the exam. So I kind of tried to understand what is the demand of CAT exam, what is the demand of all the three sections, and charted my preparation mostly around that.
Okay,
So,
fantastic, Divya. Excellent, brother. And again, I think one of the achiever who was there before you was also working, and you are also working, right? So most of the
right, sir.
people have this doubt. What was your study plan?
Well, sir, I come precisely from a services sector, so
Hmm.
definitely I never had these fixed, the leverage of fixed timings. I had flex timings wherein you get a call and you have to be on work. So I realized very early on that my daily targets are not working for me. So I went on to basically chart my 3 or 4 days plan or a weekly plan. And
Okay.
I think that, yeah, and I think that CAT is majorly about working on your mindset. So as long as you're sure, as long as you're focused, as long as you really wanted, that conviction is right, you can go about doing it. So in my study plan, I made sure that I achieve my 3 or 4 days or my weekly targets. I was very strict about them. I never went about wasting time. So even if I got, 10 minutes or even if I got any traveling time, I used to make use of that. Maybe reading some, utilizing it on reading, or maybe, forming my opinion by watching RSTV, The Big Picture. So, anything that would probably help me move a step ahead in my preparation. So with working individuals, I think, we have to leverage any amount of time that we get. And I think that is the way to go about it.
All right. But some of our audience wants to know that that CAT is going to happen in November or maybe December this year. So do you think
Right.
this time is enough for people to prepare for these upcoming examinations?
Well, sir, I would say that any amount of time is okay for you to prepare and go about for CAT and ace it rather, if you understand what the exam demands out of you. If you
Hmm.
understand how to tackle the paper, it's not about how well you do, how much you know about it. It's about how much can you produce in those 3 hours. How can you maintain your temperament? You can maintain your calm. How to look at the paper objectively, at the sitting in the exam, any section can be thrown at you and it will be just so tough. So how to maintain yourself, how to be mentally strong enough to handle that rigor of those 3 hours. So
Hmm.
anyone who understands that can ace CAT in any amount of time they have, because CAT, according to me, is a test of your personality more than what you know. So
Okay.
I think anyone who has worked on it can do it. Yes.
Right. Right. Absolutely correct, brother. Fantastic. Some people also wants to know, did you give online, offline interview? What was it?
So, sir, I gave most of my interviews were offline except for IIM Indore, which was an
Okay.
online interview for me. Yes.
Okay. So what was the difference between offline and online interview for you?
Well, sir, since it took me 2 years, I lived with the dream of getting into IIM Bangalore for 2 long years. There was
Okay.
focus, there was conviction. So, I mean,
Hmm.
when you live with that dream long enough, when you are in an offline setup, your body language kind of reflects it very profoundly that you really want to get in, which I think gets little difficult to prove in an online interview. But I think if you have your basics in place, if you know that, if you're very sure about your profile of what you have done, you believe in yourself. So I think it doesn't really, make much of a difference.
Okay. And out of the 3 sections, did you find any section to be very difficult for you?
Well, sir, I have a natural flair for verbal because I'm an avid reader. So verbal actually came very naturally to me, and I did not have to put a lot of efforts to it. But for
Okay.
verbal and for DILR and for quants, being an engineer, though I would mention, because it's a misconception that engineers are naturally good at quants. But I think
Right.
again it's the demand of the exam. I was falling short of accuracy in my quant section, so I had to work on it. On DILR, as DILR demands you to be very good at decision making, knowing about yourself, knowing which sets you are comfortable with. So it took me a while to get a knack of it, but once I got it, I was good.
Oh, fantastic. So what Divya said and what Vipul said is absolutely correct. These examinations are kept in such a way that an engineer, non-engineer, both are comfortable with it. So quant,
Right.
people think that engineers are, going to find it difficult. But I know many engineers who are afraid of quant. All right, Nakli engineers. Okay, just very clear in that way. So, okay, any other tip that you would like to share, Divya? Because you have cracked a lot of interviews, right? And a
Yes.
lot of colleges you have cracked. So, anything that you really want the students to do, they should not miss out on that particular thing. What would you suggest them?
So, sir, there are a couple of pointers which I would put here. First
Mhm.
of all, many candidates think or see CAT as a lens of a 3-hour paper that they have to ace. Definitely it is. Definitely it's the starting point which is going to bring in you the calls. But one of the most important thing is that it is the beginning of the journey. The final aim is to get the converts. So do not forget the bigger picture right from the very start. And that was a pivotal shift in my second attempt. As I told you,
Mhm.
sir, I prepared for an MBA. So whatever time I used to find, even going on tea, I used to, discuss with my colleagues about different trending technologies or, something that can add me here. And I started reading Hindu really early on, and I think the editorials helped me form an opinion. I also ventured into some of the sites like, Insights on India or Vision IAS, where they have good articles to just have a glance whenever I'm free. So basically, I think CAT is about working on yourself. You cannot crack interviews in a month or a two's prep, as many people would believe. It's something
Mhm.
that you have to work right from the very start, because the interview, what I felt was more about who you are as a person. What are your beliefs? What have been your experiences so far? So why not enrich your experiences right from the very start? And the second important thing is that they are looking for candidates who are not only aware, who are not only informed, but they can analyze information. They can provide solutions. So how can you analyze information in 1 or 2 months when you don't have a knack for it? So I think be aware. Be aware right from the very start. Try to have an analysis of your own. Discuss with your peers, and the most important thing, try to have an opinion about things which they actually see. Try to work
Mhm.
on every facet of your personality, because it's not what you do over a month or two that is going to get you a convert. It's about who you are that is going to get you a convert. So make a better version of yourself. That
Correct.
is what I would say.
Absolutely correct, Bida. See, most of the audience are asking you right now, is there any particular thing they have asked you during interviews? Particularly, they grilled you on that or something like that?
So I would say that every interview experience that I had was very unique. So
Okay.
every college tests a very different skill in you. For example, my IIM indoor interview was highly technical, was based on automatic cars, electronic vehicles, Google Maps, the technicalities of that. Although I have never worked on that, but how logically can you handle those questions? They're looking for that. And as I told you, my Kozhikode interview, it started from dark web, deep web, and security aspects of it. And since I have been very active in doing CSR, they asked me the 2013 CSR policy, what were the changes about it, and then they went on to why do I want to do an MBA. I think that is one of the questions that most of the aspirants look for an answer before the interview. I think you should look for an answer right now and then only go to the grind of the preparation. So have it sorted from the very beginning, I would say. And so
Right.
they are looking for conviction in you, how serious you are, how badly do you want to get in. My
Right.
Lucknow interview, I would put it was a stress interview. I was made to solve a lot of questions, and I was put into the grind wherein they were just trying to put me in a position that I had to prove myself that why should they take me in. So I think that every interview process is very different. You don't know what they're going to ask about you. So prepare yourself from the very start. By being aware about yourself, about your surroundings, why you want to do what you want to do, and going about it in a very careful, conscious manner.
Correct.
Yes.
Divya. Perfect. Actually, most of the people do keep asking this question even to us, okay, what they are going to ask you in the interviews. And as you said, I am Lucknow. Very weird interviews with her. All right. I
Yeah.
still remember uh, to one of my students, they asked that why does South Indian eat so much of sambar? Yeah, why do Punjabis eat so much of butter? All right. I mean,
Yeah.
it's their
Right.
wish, right? So it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with MBA. They're just putting you in the different situations, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, Bida, congratulations. And you will be joining IIM Bangalore, I guess, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And they have given you any joining date for joining or keeping you on
Uh,
hold for some more time?
so, sir, it's gonna start online from 1st August. That is our orientation date, and post that it's gonna be mostly online classes for us.
Okay, fantastic. So thank you for doing this for us, Bida. Thank you for being here. Have a nice time.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me here. Thank you.
All right, Bida. All the best. Okay. So that was Divya, my dear friends. And one more thing I should tell all of the viewers right now. You're having a lot of queries. We do understand that because of the time restriction, most of the queries may or may not be answered, but do not be worried about that. All of your queries will reach to our achievers. They will answer it. We will make sure we are going to post your queries on our Instagram. All right. So please follow that. And any further query, you can contact your respective centers or the nearest centers, and we will definitely help you out. All right. Common question most of the audience are asking: being a fresher, being a non-fresher, is it going to jeopardize my chances of getting selected? Then, my dear viewers, my dear friends, it is not going to jeopardize any of the things. A fresher, non-fresher, experienced person has equal chance of getting selected in the top colleges. Depends upon your profile, depends upon your percentile, depends upon your GDPI, your remaining performances. So just focus on that. All right. So I would like to invite our next topper of the day. So I would like to welcome Mr. Lalit. Now Lalit is the person who has cracked all the old IIMs. So Mr. Lalit, please, let's have a pleasure to meet Mr. Lalit online. Good evening, Lalit. Hi, Lalit. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am very fine, Lalit. So, Lalit, you have converted IIM Ahmedabad, right?
Yes, sir.
Then Bangalore,
Yeah.
then Kolkata.
Yeah, sir.
Then you converted Lucknow. Then you converted Indore. Then you converted Kozhikode also, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
So, what is the final decision? Are you going to get degree from all the six IIMs?
I wish I can take good part of all the things, but that can't be. So I'm going with A.
Fantastic. I am Ahmedabad, the obvious choice. So, Lalit, please tell your strategy, how you prepared for the competitive examination, and why you are choosing IIM Ahmedabad over any other IIM.
Coming to the first part, so I started my preparation a year ago. So it's been a 1 year journey in time with me for me, and I would say play to your strengths. That was my what is it? That was my way of preparing. So I try to figure out where I weak, where I'm strong, and where I'm weak. So I would say like I gave CAT 17, which was like a which gave me some I can introspect something into myself to get to know what I'm good in and what I'm not. So from that, I was able to find that I was good in English. That was my strong suit, and I try to maximize it. And
Okay.
my weak part was quants, and it haunted me for in all of my MCATs. Like I performed well in the class, but as soon as I get to sit in an exam point of view, I fail miserably. Like to the extent say I won't cross the cutoff in most of the exams. Even though my percentage will be high, I will be failing the cutoffs. That was my one fear till the exam day. Like till the D-Day, I
Okay.
was like praying that I
Wait a
should
second.
clear my cutoff.
Lalit, you're an
And
engineer, right?
yes, sir.
Wait a second. We
And
have a second engineer who is afraid of quant today. Fantastic.
I was afraid of my quants till my IM Calcutta interview. So till that time, I was like, it should not be coming, and but thankfully, it didn't come at any point of the GDPA process. And
Okay.
I would say uh, it's about consistent and perseverance. Also, it's like you give your effort, but you give it continuously. Like many people do it like till June. They start from Jan, prepare till June, and then it's over. I also did the same. Till June, I was quants was weak. So what I did was I completed my arithmetic book, which time gave within June, and say after 1 or 2 months, I couldn't attend arithmetic again. I forgot the arithmetic concepts. So it was. And then I thought. Then I thought like I needed to revisit the whole chapters again. So what I did was then I corrected myself. Like I did all the chapters, but say sorry, a 10 question per chapter. So each day I would say if I'm going to attempt 30 questions, that would be from 3 different chapters, so that I don't lose the continuity, the touch. And also I'm preparing for my I'm keeping the other chapters in check. That's how my preparation was. And regarding RC and DLR, I didn't prepare much. So say the mocks helped me. I give my MCATs regularly. I don't want them to accumulate at the later part. So I try to finish off as much as I could. That was my only preparation for RC and DLR. And once that was the thing. So
Excellent. So Lalit was preparing through the mock papers and he solved all 25 mock papers, right, Lalit?
yes, sir.
Excellent, brother. Fantastic. And anything in particular that you would like to share with our audience that what you have done in order to achieve, how you convinced these 6 IMs to take you here? How did you convince them?
That they know, sir. Like I'm not sure. I would say I did my part, and the results paid off. One suggestion I would say is take utilize your resources to the best. Play to your strength and get to extract maximum from the resources. By resources, I mean the faculties which you're dealing with. They have immense potential, and it's about how students contact. They won't come. It's about us. So if I'm feeling weak in points, I need to approach these professors or faculties to get to clear my doubts, and which I did. I would like to mention Rawat sir in this point. He was throughout my journey. Like he helped me a lot in quants, and Amrita ma'am in RC. So these two people played a huge role, and that's how. So it's about we know something about us, but for a classroom student, a professor can view us in a different angle, and they can give us some other inputs which will be helpful to us. That's one takeoff. And second one is be perseverant and be consistent, and don't get
Oh,
deterred by MCATs that most of us do.
okay. Fantastic, Lalit. All right. So congratulations, Lalit, for converting everything. All right.
Thank,
And congratulations on joining IIM Ahmedabad.
thank you, sir.
And thanks a lot for being here for us, Lalit. And you've done wonders. We wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Right?
Thanks a lot.
Okay. From audience side, does anybody want to ask anything. Okay. One of the thing is that because you have mentioned you have written most of the MCATs, so they want to know, were your score consistent throughout, or was your score varying? How was your scores in all those MCATs?
I was scoring about 95 plus in for pretty much in the early MCAT. Still MCAT 7.5. I was pretty much in 95 to 98 range. It will be fluctuating
Okay.
from 95 to 98. But as days passed and when the D-Day was nearing, my performance fell. I don't know, like it dropped. It had a very significant drop, and
Mhm.
but I could come out of it, like the SAMCATs and the special tests. So it was consistent to most extent.
Oh, fantastic. So when you are saying 95 to 98, just to be clear, these are marks or percentiles that you're talking about?
Percentile, sir.
Oh. So you always had above 95, 96 percentile. It was consistent, right?
Most of the time, sir. Yeah, like
Okay.
maximum
And
95 to 98. That is the range.
okay. Okay. Fantastic, Lilith. Good to have you. Good to meet you again. All right. We
Thank
wish you all the best and hope to see you someday.
you. Sure, sure, sir.
All right. Okay. Brother.
Sure.
Have a nice time.
Thank you, sir.
So that was Mr. Lilith, one of the achiever who has converted all the 6 old IM calls. See, most of the people do consider all the 6 older IMs to be one of the major target. All right. And very few people are able to achieve that they convert all the 6 call despite having the number of calls. But Lilith was one of the person who has done it. All right. So now I would like to invite our next achiever of the day. You have already met Divya. Now we would like to invite Mr. Shikhar. Mr. Shikhar, if you're there, please join us. Shikhar, I can see you, but your audio.
Great. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Shikhar. So how are you doing today?
Sir, I'm fine. You tell me, how's it going till now?
Fantastic. Home quarantined. All right. Homebound, difficult situations out there. But in this difficult situation, we decided that we want our achievers to interact with our students directly. Thank you for doing this for us. And yeah, tell us something about you a little bit, Mr. Shikhar. So tell us about your background a little bit.
Sir, so I initially wrote CAT 16 when I was in college pursuing my BTech, and it was along with time. The only
Mhm.
problem or the only mistake I did was I got too interested in my placements and I missed out on the preparation. And that is why I could not convert any IMs back then. So that is one of the things that I would tell all my freshers out there who are listening, that please, if you have decided to go for an MBA, go for it as soon as you can, build a good profile and go for it. Don't wait 2 years for the work X, because the earlier you go, the better it is for you.
So after having 2.5-year work ex, are you regretting the decision of MBA?
I just think that if I would have gone earlier, it would have been better. But then again, the 2.5 years doesn't hurt because it actually helps you get a call to colleges like SP Jan and other colleges.
Okay, fantastic, brother. So you have converted SP Jain College, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're joining SP Jain.
Yeah, definitely.
And which branch you're taking?
I'm going for the marketing specialization because it gels well with my previous work ex as
Oh,
business development in SKF. So that actually
oh,
helps me.
fantastic. For the people who are listening to us, watching us right now, I would like to tell you 2 or 3 things here. See, in some of the colleges, when you are going for MBA or PGDM degree, then you don't have to choose the specialization from the starting. But in SP Jain, you have to choose the specialization at the starting, rather they choose you for that specialization. All right.
Exactly.
For example, SP Jain has chosen Mr. Shikhar, right?
Yeah.
And they have chosen you for marketing here. Why?
So basically, when you're filling up the SPJAN form,
Mhm.
it is called as a profile based call, and that profile depends on a lot of things: your overall profile, your academic background, your work ex, your exam scores, and the versatility and achievements that you have. So one of the major aspect, as I mentioned, is the work ex. So my work ex has been for the business development profile, which is a pre-sales profile, and going forwards it would be a natural step for me to do an MBA in marketing. So I think that is what they're looking for. They're looking for students who have a clear idea in their mind of how their career should progress, what is the specialization that they're looking for. If I had
Hmm.
applied for maybe operations profile, they might have rejected my profile because they couldn't see a clear progression to my career path in that sense.
Okay. And Shikhar, that most of the colleges goes for one-to-one interview, or there will be a panel, but only one student, right?
Yes. Yes.
But SP Jain, and I would like to tell our audience here that SP Jain is one of the college where it is panel to panel interview. There will be a panel of the faculty members sitting and panel of the students sitting, right? So tell us something about that. How many students were there in your panel when you were there?
So actually in SPJAN we don't have one, but we have two interviews. So it is
Oh,
called
okay,
group interview 1 and group interview 2. So in the
correct.
group interview 1, there were 3 panelists from the SPJAN committee, and we were 5 students or 5 candidates there. And it is a very different sort of interview because we have come to expect there to be 2 or 3 panelists and one student sitting here and one-to-one questions happening, as you mentioned. But in SPJAN, it can be a conversation is going on with a random candidate, and suddenly that question can flip and come to you. So you have to always be aware of what the conversation is going on, what is your thought process for that topic, and they can just change the subject or they can ask you to comment on whatever the other person has said. So it is a slightly different dynamics, but then again, we had very good preparation at our mocks during our mock interviews. So I was very well prepared for that eventuality. And it did happen a few times. Rather, in my interview, they actually asked me to ask a marketing specific question to the remaining 4 candidates. So it was that engrossed, and everyone had to listen to what I was saying, what I was thinking, and what their response was. So it's
Oh,
that.
so you actually asked those candidate marketing questions,
Yeah, exactly.
and any 4 of them selected?
Yeah, 3 of us made it to the second round, which is the GI2. So group interview
Okay.
2, we had 2 panelists and 4
Hmm.
candidates were there. And it was majorly more linked to your profile, your psychometric test, and uh,
Mhm.
your personality as a whole. Now it was no longer about your specialization. Now they were not interested in how well your exam went or something. They were just checking how are you as a person and do you fit into their mindset of their students that they want to bring to their cohort.
Okay, fantastic. And any preparation tip that you feel like you are an old player who has written CAT 2016 and then directly CAT 2019, right?
Yes.
So anything that you missed in 2016, you want our viewers to know they should do and should not do for CAT 2020?
Uh, Out of both my experiences of attempting the CAT exam, one thing I have realized is that uh, it is very important to let go of the percentiles in the AIMCAT and focus more on the evaluation of how your AIMCAT went bad. In my case, I used to do very good in VARC, decent in quants, and very terrible in DILR. So I used to sit for 1.5 hours just to listen to each and every video explanation of the AIMCAT's analysis of that specific DI set. So that is how I improved my performance. So over the days, what I realized is whatever concepts you're missing out on in your preparation, you can work on that if you just go through the analysis of the quant section, of the DILR section, and especially of the RC section. Because in RC, it is very easy to mark the wrong answer, very difficult to find out why your answer was not correct. So that is something that video lectures and video analysis helps you over there. So
Okay.
AIMCAT
Uh,
analysis is one thing. And second thing, what I realized and now I have come to believe is that CAT, or rather I would say IIMs, is not end of the world. If you go through the top 20 colleges in the Times categorization, you will find out that 12 of them are actually not IIMs. So that is
right.
one thing that we realized, that there are other good colleges out there, IIFT, XLRI, SPJAN, and all the likes. So do not focus on IIMs, have a broader view and prepare for all the exams simultaneously or all the interviews simultaneously.
Perfect. Perfect, Shikhar. What Shikhar is saying is absolutely correct, my dear friends. See, first of all, when you're a fresher or you're in a study mode, if you want to write the CAT examination, perfect time because you're studying right now. correct? And after, work, the problem starts that you have to balance your work along with the preparations and everything. Second thing, what Shikhar said is very, very important, because I'm seeing this question for a very, very long time to every achiever. What was your MCAT score? What was your MCAT score? So, my dear friends, what Shikhar is saying is absolutely correct. MCAT score is one thing. More important is to analyze your performance in the MCAT. All right, that is very important. Is there a continuous growth which is present? Right, Shikhar?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So thank you, Shikhar, for doing this with us. Normally,
Thank you.
we used to conduct a huge event, Achievers Meet, but this year we have to improvise. We are going for online. So thank you. Yes, brother, you want to
Thank you,
say
sir.
something?
Sir, I was there the last time this Achievers Meet was held for the Pune region, and it had been a
Oh,
dream of mine to be on the stage. But this platform, okay, this also works. Thanks a lot. The pleasure
fantastic.
has been mine.
Oh, it was our happiness too to share your happiness with us. Fantastic feeling. Trust me on that. All right.
Thank you,
And
sir.
to our viewers, to our listeners, unfortunately, we have to go online. It's a MHA guidelines. We cannot conduct offline sessions. 6 feet distance, coronavirus, people are blaming China, blah, blah, blah. Too many things are there. So we can't do anything about that. But I hope that when this event happens next year, with the viewers who are listening to us, watching us right now, it will go back to the old glory where we are going to have a big event, and we would like to invite our achievers on the stage to share the experience, just like what Mr. Shikhar is doing with us right now. So, Shikhar, once again, thanks a lot. All the best, Bida. Do very well.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
All right. Welcome, Bida. So that was Shikhar. Shikhar is going to join SV Jain very soon as a marketing graduate. Look like a good marketing guy. I would like to invite, with that note, our next achiever of the day. That will be Miss Ishika Agarwal. All right. So if Ishika, you're listening to us, please join us today. Ah,
Good
Ishika, good
evening,
evening.
sir.
Good evening, Bida. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing very fine, Bida. So Ishika, please tell a little bit about you, your background, how you have prepared, which college you got selected, which college you are going to join.
Sir, I'm going to join XLRI HR, sir. And I'm a fresher from the commerce background. So I'm actually still in my final year, so I don't know when I'll graduate.
Okay. So you are right now in a final year waiting for your final examination to happen, right? You're
So
waiting
your
for your
video
final
call?
year? Are you waiting for your final year examination to get over?
Yes, sir. There's no notification. I don't know when I'll give my exams, if I'll give my exams.
Okay. There is a lot of confusion in the Maharashtra government, and exam is going to happen, not going to happen, right? So I
Definitely.
guess there are a lot of people who would like to listen to you for a sheer reason that so far the achievers who were here, who shared their experiences, all of them were engineers. You're the only non-engineer, right?
Yes, sir.
How a non-engineer prepare for a competitive examination, beta? Please enlighten us.
Sir, I don't think it's that different. So I think being a commerce student, I'm always told how do I tackle quant section. So, but
Mhm.
then so I had quants up till my class 12. Also,
Okay.
like in the classroom classes, coaching classes, we're taught the basics. The process for preparation, I feel, is almost similar. Be a commerce student or an engineering student. It's just that
Mhm.
I had to focus more on quants and basically, so every student has their own weak points. I by giving mock tests, I realized that I had to study more quants. So,
Mhm.
disadvantage being a commerce student. Sir.
Oh, fantastic. And you're going for auxiliary HR, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you decide to join HR, beta? What was your experience?
Sir, actually, being a fresher, I don't have a work experience, so I
Mhm.
don't really know the domains personally. I just know that theoretically what will be what we're taught and what is expected of us.
Mhm.
So I talked to you, I talked to a lot of seniors, and so XLRI being not just the best college in the country, but in the Asia Pacific region, so I did not want to miss out on this opportunity.
Okay. So any interview experience that you would like to share, any particular part that you remember?
Yeah, definitely. So for XLRI, interview was the most different interview, so I'd say. So the
Okay.
reason being, it was the longest interview. It went
Mhm.
for around 40 minutes for each person.
40-minute interview.
For each person.
Oh my God. So what? They were asking every single thing about you?
Sir, the interview was very random. They did not ask a single expected question like why MBA or why XLRI for that matter.
Mhm.
So I remember the moment I entered, they asked me questions on my college. So they asked me questions on arts. I'm a commerce student, but they wanted me to answer questions on the arts aspect of my college.
Oh.
Also, so another funny thing, I'm from Assam, so I was asked a lot of questions on my hometown. So
Oh man.
apparently, yes, apparently a panelist knew a lot about Assam, and he started talking to me in the local language, that is Assamese.
And
So
just to be
as we
clear,
were
you knew the local language, right?
yeah, so I can't speak it fluently, but I understand and I managed to sail through.
Okay. Fantastic, Buddha. And how was your ZAT preparation? Little bit different from CAT preparation, right? So how did you prepare for
Yes.
it?
So that the main difference between that and CAT is the decision making section.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually started preparing for decision making after I had given my CAT.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so the main I feel the way to prepare for decision making is first understanding the concepts. So because
Mm-hmm.
it is a very subjective case based question, so it's very
Okay.
difficult to eliminate the option. So like we were taught, so I watched a lot of videos in the Time portal, and we were taught instead of finding the answer, it is better to eliminate the answer, eliminate the options which are not the answer. So
Okay.
like
So
options
you,
that any immoral or illegal aspects had to be eliminated immediately.
so you went by the answer option elimination method, basically.
Yes, yes.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic, Buddha. So very soon you are going to join Exilry HR and you are going to become a good HR manager, right?
So I hope so.
Okay. What is one aspect of HR that you are looking forward to do in your company? Is it to hire people, fire people, or give them appraisal? Out of the three,
So higher fire and
give them appraisal. Out of the three, which part are you looking forward to do?
so definitely not fire.
Okay. So fire is eliminated. We are going by the answer option elimination again.
Again. So I think I'd go for the appraisal method.
Oh, so you want to appraise people's money, right?
So I'd like to work in the compensation and benefit analysis.
Oh, fantastic, Buddha. One of the toughest section that you will ever work as an HR manager. All right. So we wish you all the best for that. Do very well. Appraise a lot of people's salary according to the company standard, of course. All right. And
Thank you so much.
really nice to have you here, Buddha. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Sir.
Thank you, Buddha. All the best. All right. So that was Ishika. A lot of you are answering some of the questions. I do understand because of the time restriction, we cannot answer all of them. But as I told you that your answers will be posted very soon on our Instagram. So kindly check on that. All right. And just to answer some of the very common question that I am a fresher, is it going to hamper my chances of getting selection? It is absolutely not going to hamper any chance. You have an equal right of getting selected in any of the top B school, unless the B school want only people who have work experience. All right. In those colleges, in any case, you cannot fill the form. So don't be worried about that. I would like to ask our next topper to be with us. So we would like to ask Mr. Nandish to join us. Mr. Nandish, if you're listening to us, please join us.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Nandish, why don't you share a little bit about yourself, how you prepared for this examination, and which college you are selected for, which college you are going to join?
All right, sir. So let me just give a brief background about myself. So I graduated from NIT Nagpur 2018 and I've been since working for 2 years now. And so basically I gave CAT and I got 99.92 in CAT. I also gave ZAT and IFT. So ZAT I had got 99.86 and IFT 99.75. So, and yeah, and amongst the conversions, so I got calls only from amongst the IIMs. I got calls from Calcutta, Kozhikode, and the new IIMs, which I converted all three, and XLRI both BM and HR, and IIFT Delhi. So that is what. And FMS I am currently on waitlist 15. So yeah, so that's the college scenario for me currently. Yeah, and yeah, so I hope that answers about the college selection. And sorry, about the college calls. And amongst the colleges, I'll be joining IMC. So I'll be going to Calcutta.
Okay. And what kind of challenges were you facing when you were preparing for IMC? I mean, as I remember, Nandish, you are repeating the CAT again, right? You have
Yeah,
given
so
CAT
you
last
would
year
be
also.
right. So you would be knowing very well because yeah. So to the general audience, I was giving CAT to I had so this is my second time, and so last year I had scored 99.3. And the interesting part was that my maths and verbal were very strong, but I had got a 72 percentile in DILR. So I'd only managed a call from FMS last year, which I couldn't convert. And so this time my strategy was mostly centered around, the DILR sort. So my basic logic was, so last year I had scored like 160 marks in CAT examination. So I was like, okay, like if I maintain verbal and quant and increase my DILR by 20 marks or so, it would get me in the 180 range. But luckily this time I managed to increase scores in both verbal and maths also, and also in DILR, and that propelled me to over 200 then. So so that is my situation. And how I came about it was, so if I would like to summarize, I would basically break it into three compartments. So first would be definitely the interaction with the faculty. So last year I did not used to like talk that much or anything, but I remember like I always used to come to you or to Deepak sir also, like regarding DILR, and you would always be telling me like, okay, go and practice this and then give some aim cats, analyze. So that was one part, like interaction with the faculty part, because you were very helpful and that helped a lot. Apart from that, the second trick was to mainly focus on the aim cats. But to the general audience, I would not say that, because my foundations were pretty clear and it was more like a polishing stage. So that's why I focused entirely on the aim cats, and then I would sit and painstakingly go through each and every DILR set. I wouldn't focus that much on verbal and the quant part, but mostly on DILR. And quant, I would usually focus on identifying the strategy which you used to tell, that target those questions which you can solve. So I would always go and check whether I could whether I had done the proper questions or not. And regarding verbal, I was pretty comfortable. And the third point, and the most important one, would be the peer group. So I luckily had 2 or 3 very good people who were able to influence me, and studying with them, so my DILR and my every weakness, so that part literally got removed. So that would be my 3 basic, compartments.
So having a very good peer group, learning with them, studying with them, and
Exactly.
sharing the doubts and difficulties with them helped you a lot,
Right. So
right?
that actually helped a lot. And the thing was, I'm a working professional. So, coming back from the office after all the hush hush of the office, it's like you get very tired, and, there's this motive also goes down the drain. So if you have someone, and that someone is maybe better than you, so that definitely gives you an incentive also to push yourself forward also. So that was one
So,
very critical. Yeah.
okay. So you had someone who was pushing you.
Yeah, I had someone we both actually helped in pushing each other. So yeah, and actually that was a very good point, because like my friend, he was excellent in DILR, and that was my weak point. So studying with him, I could see the ways by which he used to tackle the DILR problems and all, and that helped me also. And when I was then again analyzing my aim cats, then I would be like, okay, I thought like this. Then sometimes if I spent, let's say, a lot of time on one particular set, then either I would also go to him and ask, see, like, कि मैंने ऐसे किया हुआ है, and you know, what is your way? How would you go about it? So that interaction also helped a lot. So
Fantastic. So learning from each other, different methods,
yeah,
mechanisms.
exactly. Right, sir. So because last year, I would say like I had given around 40 mock exams. So I had, you know, like given every, but I had not done the analysis properly. And this time I done all the 25 AIMCAT, but the analysis was quite proper, especially in the DILR area. So last year, what used to happen was, I remember very clearly also, you know, one AIMCAT, I would be above the 85 percentile. Second, I would not clear the cutoff. Third, again, sometimes it would shoot to 99 point, I think 8 percentile. One time it shot down to 59 percentile also. So that was the scale which, you know, that the curve, the crest and the trough was. But this time with this slight change in technique, I think there were not many MCATs where I had this problem, you know, that I am maybe falling below the, and luckily in the CAT also, CAT and that and IIFP also, I was able to, now then that fear of DILR was also gone. So yeah.
Okay. But another question that one of the audience wanted to ask us, how do you keep motivating yourself for studies? You know, in this time, people are losing motivation. How do you
Right.
motivate yourself?
Sir, I would just like to say to the audience also, so I belong to the GEM category, General Engineer Male. So that is 60% of motivation itself, because it is, because, you know, I definitely knew that if I am not getting a score, so any score of below 99.5 or 99.6 for me was, like, it would not get me, catapult me to my dream colleges. And I was targeting ABC only. And so that was one part where that motivation. So, and like I had also said, because I was luckily studying in a time where I was with my friends and all, and you know, I remember very clearly when I'd given the CAT in 2018, even if I would have gotten, you know, like something like 99.2 percentile, 99.3 percentile in AIMCAT, I would be feeling like the king of the world. I would be like, yeah, I have done very great. But then when I came to 2019, I got 99.4, and my friend is like, oh, I'm at 99.7. So that was again an incentive. Okay, you are studying together, you can learn and then go ahead. So
Oh,
that was
so
all for,
competition or the competition examination was going on beforehand.
yeah, like yeah, exactly. It was going on like because I had invested a lot of time and energy also, like, you know, giving it again. So that was like investing a second year also. So those were motivation enough. And and I
Okay.
also used to come to you so many times regarding DILR. I hope you would remember that. So
I do, but I
yeah.
do. And I hope that time was able to help you in achieving at least something.
Sir, it was actually pretty crucial, because I'm telling you that my major strategy was you, the faculty, and the AIMCAT. So that those
Right.
were also the two major, let's say, the centerpieces of the whole thing. So that's why, like, again, without the AIMCAT, because the DILR sets were so nice in the AIMCAT, and I usually used to love them. Like before, I used to go for any other reference books or anything like that. But when I saw the sets which were coming in the AIMCAT, and they were so near to the CAT exam, so yeah, so I really love the DILR sets of the AIMCAT examination.
Fantastic, fantastic, brother. Excellent. Anna? So once again, Nandish, congratulations and thank you for being here with us. And
Okay,
we wish you all the best. Do very well. All right.
okay,
And if you
thank
have
you.
any kind of doubt, whenever you are joining, I'm Kolkata. I'm pretty sure right now they might not have given you any joining date. Have they given you
No,
anything?
no, they are rather optimistic. So they have told August 1st is offline registration. So let's wait and watch now.
All right. So I hope that
Yeah,
very soon you go to IIM Kolkata, you achieve even bigger dreams. All right.
thank
We
you.
wish you all the
Yes,
best, brother. And thank you
thank you,
for
sir.
being with us.
Thank
All
you.
right. Have a nice time, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now I would like to ask our last achiever of the day to join us and enlighten you with his wisdom. And let's see how he has prepared. So, Mr. Ankit,
Yes, good evening, sir.
good evening, madam. So you're looking fresh today.
Yeah,
Okay. So Ankit, tell us something about you. Tell us how you prepared. As I know, you are just a fresher, right?
Yeah, right.
And which
Uh,
college you have got selected into?
I've converted IIMs A, B, L, K, and I, and I'll be joining IIM Ahmedabad.
Fantastic, beta. So you converted.
Yeah.
I am Ahmedabad, I am Bangalore, I am Kozhikode, I am Lucknow and Indore.
Yes, sir. Right.
Fantastic. So all
Yeah.
those people who are the audience, who are with us, who are listening to us, and their common question is, can a fresher do it? Can a fresher get into IM? So we have Ankit for you. He's sitting with us. He's a fresher, converted all the IMs. I think only one IM is left, right?
Yeah,
Which one?
Calcutta is still. Yeah, I got
Okay.
rejected by Calcutta.
That's okay, brother. Calcutta, we now later we can say, no, we chose not to join Calcutta. Okay, so don't worry about that. So finally, you are going to join IIM Ahmedabad. So why don't you
Yes, sir.
share
Right.
your journey, how you prepared, how you got into your dream college? Please share your journey.
Definitely, sir. First, I'll just give my introduction so everyone knows. My name is Ankit Desai, and I'm currently pursuing computer engineering from VIT Pune, and I'm in my final year right now. So, like the journey actually started in my second year when I actually decided that it's going to be MBA and not MS or anything else. So when I joined Time in November, like I was in my third year only, and I was not very serious about my preparations because like in every class, all the teachers would say that it's high time that you get serious and all. But as usual, you are an engineer and you just can't be serious until the last moment. But hopefully that like I'm fortunate enough that that last moment wasn't the last moment for me, and I actually started preparing a bit early than I expected. And when I prepared, so it was very like it was a understandable thing for me that VARC is something that is going to be very difficult, and I had to study more for it. That was an obvious fact for me. And DILR was quite natural to me, and unlike everyone thinks that engineers are very good at quant. That wasn't the case for me. I had to work hard in quant as well. And so I'll
Mhm.
just break out this myth to everyone out there that being an engineer, it's not necessary that you will get a 99.9 in quant with ease. You'll have to work hard every day to achieve that goal. And so yeah, that was it. Like when I joined Time, I understood how I had to prepare. I got a structure in sense of
Mhm.
preparing for each and every section. And then when I started self studies after the class, the mocks helped a lot. Like whenever you prepare, the mocks are always the most important thing when it comes to the cat preparation, because it's the analysis and the new type of questions that you face in the mocks that helps you proceed. So
Mhm.
as I've said that VRC was difficult. So how did I prepare for VRC was uh, I read the book called as Word Power Made Easy because I wasn't really very good with my vocabulary. Uh, that book helped me a lot, and I also read a couple of RCs every day, like say articles in general from Eon.co or say the Guardian, the Hindu, whatever I got. And there was no particular genre that I referred to because cat doesn't ask you which preferred genre, like what is your preference. It just gives you the RCs. And just I'd say one thing which is very important is don't just focus on your weak areas. Study
Mhm.
all three sections every day, because I have come to know a lot of things while preparing. I used to do this. I just studied DILR because I enjoyed doing that, but it doesn't really help. So study a little bit every day and study all the three sections every day. This was my key takeaway from my preparation. And when we talk about the interview journey, it was very different because uh, you can't prepare for an interview in just 1 or 2 months of time that you get after your
Mhm.
calls are given. So it's basically you have to critically analyze yourself, what you are, how you are, and most importantly why you are that way. So I
Mhm.
had my interest in finance, and I knew I had to defend it if I am going to tell them that I want to do an MBA in finance or something like that. So I had my stories ready where I could connect with them and make them understand that why MBA in finance was my particular choice. And the most important thing, that being a computer engineer, having a good opportunity in your jobs and all, why do you want to switch suddenly? Like, how does it make sense to just switch to a MBA and not MS? So these are some things, basic things that you need to understand. And I would really like thank the mocks that I gave at Time Pune, because they help a lot. And that is when I actually realized that my YMBA answer wasn't strong at all. Leave aside strong, it was my weak point. So yeah, that helps a lot.
Oh, fantastic. Any particular thing that you remember in your journey that you missed, or you want our audience to know that this is the thing you should definitely do or should not do? Anything that you would like to, our audience to know that you missed out on this particular point?
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of things that I'd feel that I could have done maybe better, or maybe something that I did at my best. So first, I'll tell a couple of things that I might have done better, and that was start reading today. I did not read until it was August, and when I actually understood that I cannot score in mocks if I don't read. So,
But I
like,
think there is something to do with engineering blood, right?
that's true.
Like
That's true.
when because see, in August, September, we have a cat notification. So when we
Yeah,
see notification, we know cat is going to happen now,
right.
right? That happens.
That's true.
So you
So
start
yeah, that's
preparing in
what
the
tells
month
me
of
that,
August.
yeah. So like, it's June. It's still a good time. If you haven't started, start today, because you're not going to get a time as today ever again. Every day it'll move on. So start today. Start reading today. Start solving sets today. Start solving quant questions today. Whatever you wish to, but just start today. The thing that I would say that did my best was analyzing the mocks. So when you give a 3-hour mock, you might spend 4 to 5 hours analyzing the mocks, and it is not a waste of time. It is the most important part of the preparation, as I've already said. So analyze your mocks as rigorously as you can. Analyze every question, whether right or wrong, or easy or difficult, doesn't really matter. If your solution is the most optimum solution to the question, then you will come to know, and then you'll know that that is the optimum. And it is not, then you will understand what was the most optimized way of solving the question or reaching the solution. So analyze your mocks rigorously, and don't wait for the right time to take mocks. Even if you have studied just 2 or 3 chapters in quant, or just solved a couple of RCs, go with the mock, because a mock would give you the starting point and a very true analysis about yourself. The like One more key takeaway was, your mock scores are not your cat scores. So my score varied in the range of hundreds, like starting from 120, it ranged to 210 or something. And I remember still, it was October last week, I guess. October last week, and I scored 120 in my mock, which was my lowest ever. And then there was just 20 days to cat. So you can imagine, like, if you're scoring 170, 180 on a daily basis, and suddenly you score a 120, you're gone. But then that happens, you'll have to take it. And it might have happened in cat as well. Fortunately, it did not. But then that's like, you mess up sometimes and you score very well. So don't just boast about your scores, or don't just feel low because of scoring some low marks. It happens sometimes, and that's the part of the game. So just take it as it is and go with the flow.
So in the last 20 days, you are saying that your score was 120, right?
Yeah, in
And
one mock I got 120. Yeah,
correct. But you know that when you are giving the CAT examination, you're writing the CAT examination, your mind has to be very calm and composed, right?
right. Yeah.
So how did you achieve that?
So I did not achieve it in the first 15 minutes for sure, because when I read my first RC, unfortunately I chose the most difficult RC that I found in the entire uh, paper, and I could solve only one question in the first 12 minutes, while my usual speed was solving one RC in 10 minutes, around 4 or 5 questions. So it was very difficult. What I did was, I just closed my eyes and just sat there for 30-35 seconds. I knew I had messed up the paper. So I went like, there's nothing to lose now, so go ahead. There's still DILR, there's still quant. So I solved whatever I could in VARC, and
Mhm.
I was expecting a score of around 25-30. And the moment I came out of the examination hall, when my mom asked me how the paper was, my first answer was Ahmedabad to Gaya. So I knew it wasn't on the cards for sure. And when I moved on to DILR, I always knew that was my strength. And having seen a difficult VARC, I knew if DILR is difficult, it'll be a game changer for me. And if it's easier, I'll go after solving 100% of questions. So eventually, it turned out easy, and I solved as many as I could. I solved almost like 7 complete sets, I guess, around. So it was a good attempt for me, and that actually helped me calm down because I was in a I was not in a good state after the VARC section, and I had to motivate myself, and that was the DILR section which could have helped me, and fortunately it did by calming myself down for 5-10 seconds and then moving ahead. So whenever you face some difficulty in mocks or even in the CAT, just calm yourself down. If you have prepared well, nothing can beat you there because you have prepared for a long time. So just believe in yourself and have faith in your preparation.
Correct, Ankit. So, Ankit, you just said that when you came out of the CAT examination hall, you told your mom that IIM Ahmedabad is gone,
Yeah.
right? So, you guys were targeting IIM Ahmedabad from the start?
No, my target was simple that either it's ABC or nothing at all. So,
So, even
so
your parents
Calcutta was,
knew you have to go for
uh,
ABC only.
no, they never forced me. My mom was always like during my preparation, ki Indore is also good. You should like if you have studied so hard and worked so hard, so go for Indore as well. There's nothing wrong. And then I'll always say ki, acha, theek hai, we'll think about it later. But I knew that it's ABC or it's nothing at all.
Okay, fantastic. So, but a last
Yeah.
question from our audience side and my side also. They want to know what did they ask a fresher in the interviews for IIMs? So, what were the common questions in those IIMs, or what was unusual thing that you faced?
So there's nothing common actually in any interview that you face.
Mhm.
My Lucknow interview was an online interview and it lasted for around 4 or 5 minutes max. 3 questions and my interview was done. And
Wow.
then there was my Bangalore interview, which went on till 45 minutes. Uh, Although it was offline, but still it went for 45 minutes. We had discussions over everything, like everything under the sun. You would say things like talking about philosophy, talking about technical things, talking about stock market, financial markets, then
Mhm.
government policies. Then there was a lot of things that we discussed upon, and it was a general discussion. But as a fresher, the what I feel they focus on is either they'll be talking about your ACADS because you don't have any work experience, or the
Mhm.
second thing would be why do you want to go for an MBA? And I clearly remember this because of my Ahmedabad interview. Because even
Mhm.
while I was getting up after, like, once my interview was done, I was asked, Ki, before you go to the next interview, just think once why again you want to do an MBA. And I feel you are a better candidate for MS. I was literally told this while I was just getting up. So
Mhm.
it's very important that you know why you're doing an MBA, because as fresher you cannot justify it saying that I have experienced corporate life and all, and
Mhm.
now I think I want to move to the managerial level or something like that. And especially with an engineering background, you don't have enough points to substantiate your interests or whatever you have. So
Mhm.
I just say that be confident, just don't move aside. Like if they say ki you should do MS, just don't say ki sir no, I think this is better. Be confident about what you're saying, and
Mhm.
that'll be all about it. Like there's nothing specifically that a fresher needs to answer. It'll be either academics or about yourself, nothing very different.
All right, Ankit. Ankit, first of all, congratulations.
Thank
Second,
you.
thanks a lot for being with us today and share your views, share your points, your preparation tips. I hope our audience loved it. And
So it's my
once
pleasure to
again,
be there sharing my experience with you all
it's
and
a
to be
pleasure to
brief.
have you again, Ankit. All right. All the best, Beta. Do very well. All
Thank you,
right.
sir.
Nice to have
Yes,
you.
thank you.
All right. So that was our last achiever, my dear friends. And today we would like to conclude our session here only. We had a lot of achievers, but unfortunately, because of the time restriction, we cannot call all of them on this particular stage today. I know that many of you are asking a lot of questions. So let me tell you two things before we conclude this session today. First, this recorded version will be available. The link will be sent to you very soon. So don't be worried about that. If you or your friend has missed this session or some lag here and there was there, you can see this recorded session later on. Secondly, whatever questions are unanswered, we will make sure that your questions are answered. Now, the last thing is, many of you are asking our achievers how to prepare for this CAT examination and how do you see the progress and every other thing. So my dear friends, as we started with, that there are too many webinars which we had planned for you. So in the next webinar, which we are going to conduct, we will be sharing the strategies and the tips to prepare for the upcoming CAT examination. So stay tuned with us. I would like to thank our audience for being with us, listening to our toppers. I hope you have gained something. And if in case there is any kind of doubt, please contact our respective centers. Have a nice time. Good night, everyone.